Hello everyone, hope everyone's okay. We're back. Leicester 0, Arsenal 1 review. 1-0 to the Arsenal, 1-0 to the Arsenal, 1-0. So we'll just go through the comments. Hashim, big up yourself, man. Big up. Well played, AFC and THFC.
Nah. We don't big them up here.
Bun that.
Bun that. We don't mention that club round here. We slap them home and away.
So we have got some guests in today, obviously. I'll get them in now. I'll just do them in order. So Goongang, what you say, mate?
Man, the legend.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Bless up.
Big up.
Bless up.
Big up. Ollie, how you, mate?
Yeah, sad day, obviously, RIP Stephen Freetley. Hopefully, he rests in heaven. And Ukraine as well. Obviously, it's a year since the war on the 24th February, so we will be doing the minute of silence. So, but yeah, big up for having me on. Good to make my third appearance on the channel.
Yeah,
Patrick, debut.
Yeah.
Patrick.
And finally, we've got Manny in the back room. How you doing, Manny?
Yeah, all good. Looking forward to a nice stream today. It's always relaxing when I come on this channel. We sort of leave our egos and personalities outside the door. We bring the best parts of ourselves here. It's going to be a good talk, and I know that we're all going to listen to what we have to say. There's going to be, something quite fun. And obviously, we can't talk about fun in lieu of events, but I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, big up, Manny. Hashim, salute.
Who's Hashim? Oh, yeah, Hashim. Yeah, of course.
Hashim. So obviously we had a good result against Leicester. So we will get into that. And we have some other topics also to discuss as well once we finish with that. But
we're going to be doing the Everton game preview for Wednesday night as well.
Yeah, so is that going to be in this stream? And you're not going to do a separate stream for that?
No. We're just going to do it all in one.
Okay, cool.
Because it's coming up on a Wednesday. So
Wednesday. Yeah.
We might not have time to do it tomorrow. So,
did you not put that in the title then? The preview.
No, I don't.
No.
Too many letters.
Yeah.
We don't need to know. It's fine.
Goondan, we'll go with you first.
Yeah, I mean, what do we want to talk about? I mean, we're just gonna just review the Leicester match. I mean,
yeah.
Look, I think Arteta finally has got the faith to start the rotation, which is great. I mean, that's what we've all been waiting for. We have been running these boys in a high press all season, and salute to Eddie for just maintaining that level since he hasn't done it quite yet. And then it was nice to see him getting to come on later, super sub style like Lacazette used to do for us. And I think Trossard has proven to be possibly one of the, I want to say is Jorginho, but it's like, which one's a better signing? And I think everyone was a little bit shaky at first when we got him. We were expecting the Caicedo, we were expecting the big January signing, but I think it put us right where we need to be because Trossard proved himself. I mean, that first goal, which should still be a goal, that Ben White call, very sketchy. He held his arm, whatever. That's super soft, but that strike, that upper 90 beaut, and then the assist, it's a nutmeg assist to Martinelli. I mean, what more do you want? Goal assist. Like, this man is a fantastic signing, and if anyone's hating on Edu for getting that last minute 2 backdoor fantastic signings, well, I don't know what to tell you anymore. They're, in hindsight, I was hating on him at first. In hindsight, genius signings. We lucked out. Salute to 007 Mudryk.
Yeah.
What a signing, man. I honestly,
0 goals, 0 assists.
I really think we may have sent him in as a Ukrainian agent to help topple Chelsea from the inside and then get his price down, and then we'll re-sign him in a year. So get him for about 30 mil. It'll be fantastic.
Yeah, 100%. We got some comments as well.
Adrian Mudryk.
Big up, Russell Football. Big up.
Big up. Big up Goon Gang, says Hashim. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, for me, I think we had a good display. It wasn't a bad game, to be honest with you. The result could have been bigger, but it's still the 3 points at the end of the day, and that's all we've been focusing for, really. So as I said, the result, we'll leave that to another day, but it was still a good result, still a good game to bounce back from numerous losses, and also we struggled against Villa as well. So we did do well. We was dominant throughout like most of the game anyway. Got some final minutes where Leicester started to get the counter attack and stuff like that, and we dealt with it quite easily. And to be honest with you, I was quite happy with the performance. So at one point I did say it was like a training ground drill, but because we were all over them, to be honest with you, throughout half that game. So I'm really happy with that result, and I hope to see more of that. Coming up more. As people know, 1-0 to the Arsenal. So we'll go with Manny next.
Yeah, it's one of those games where you are really happy with the result, but believe that we should have had some more goals. Because let's also put into perspective the fact that Leicester didn't have James Maddison playing in their team or in their squad due to illness/injury, and of course Tielemans and Vardy only came off the bench; they weren't even starting. And we basically sort of we never gave them the chance to attack us. We were sort of all over them, and I think we will look back instead of criticizing VAR for being too harsh. We have to look at ourselves and say, we were our own worst enemy, especially with that Ben White infringement on Danny Ward. I was telling him, you know what, that was really silly, and I always believe that you can't. When it comes to playing football, sometimes as players you've got to be street smart, and you've got to have the smarts to know that if you try to engage in some sort of sneaky plays to try to get your way, and you end up getting something out of it when you know that the cameras are on you, you can't get away with trying to be too cute. It reminded me of the Odegaard push on Eriksen's shoulder, which really was exceptionally hard and completely imbalanced the Danish midfielder, which led to Martinelli scoring a goal, which was disallowed. And the VAR officials were quite right to chalk it off for that reason. It wasn't offside, but you can't get away with that sort of stuff. And the way White was holding Ward's hand, you can claim it was soft all day long, but it really actually didn't. It impeded Ward to the extent that he couldn't make the clean jump he wanted to deal with that corner more effectively. And his subsequent punch with his left arm was a little bit weak in that regard, because it was right hand. It was his right hand which was being held, and we were dominant. I was really happy with the fact that Arteta made the changes he needed to make. He drops Eddie Nketiah, and rightly so, because the fella simply wasn't being productive. And the Trossard goal that was disallowed was proof that that was the right call. However, he needs to do a lot more in terms of rotation, because in as much as Zinchenko did have a good game when he was coming into the midfield, he also quite visibly left the left back area a little bit too exposed. And that underlines the arrogance in many ways of Arteta's mistreatment of Kieran Tierney, because he didn't even bring him on near the end. Instead, he brought on Tomiyasu to replace Zinchenko. So I take a look at the Kieran Tierney situation, and I say that as fans, we need to understand that the fact that he's not even being considered, despite his better qualities, means that he just doesn't seem to be rated. And we can go on all we want about how we may be going through an exciting period right now, potentially winning the Premiership, almost definitely getting back into the Champions League, possibly going some way in the Europa League, although we have to play Sporting Lisbon next week. But why should players again, be tempted to stay, and why should we want players to stay when they firmly feel as though they're being shafted or shunted away? So, with the rotation being in full effect, I would like to see Arteta make some more changes, because with 3 Premiership games in the course of 8 days or so, there is no way he can afford to play players who are clearly running on fumes right now. And so a lot of it was a good result under the circumstances, 3 points, but it should have been better. We should have scored a few more goals. I was predicting a 3-1 win, and for this upcoming game against Everton, which we will discuss, I am going to predict a 3-1 win. But I also want to see Arteta making some changes, and we will discuss those changes later. But again, I think what deserves criticism is that we should have been a lot more clinical. We should have, certainly looked to continue trying to attack a lot more, but also make sure that our defense is a lot more watertight. And if I were Arteta, I'd still look at everything and look at a few players and say, we still have to improve if we are going to end up winning the league come the end of the season.
Definitely.
Yeah, 100% agree. Yeah, definitely. I can agree with that.
I will say, for me, I think there may be a reason he's not bringing Tierney on. It may be another kind of hidden injury. And, the talk about Tierney being moved on, right now we want to maximize his value as much as possible. And if he's working through a knock or anything he picked up in training, that might, because, he's prone. And if we remember, his injury record is Smith Rowe-esque, and that was one of the reasons early on, and probably the only reason we initially had talked about possibly moving him on until we switched over to this inverted left back preference. But now I think he may have those two knocks against him, not being able to play inverted and possibly, just being too prone to injury. So do I want to see him go? No, he's the Tesco giant, bro. He's everything that kind of we were talking, for a long time about the possibility of him being captain, and you can't just back away from that in one season, So, but at the same time, there's interest for him, and he's value, and we have a track record of not being able to get maximum value for our players and move them on. So, if Fresneda's in the crosshairs or someone to get in the back line, I'm not sure, but all I know is right now I trust Gabriel Magalhaes with my life. I think he has just not been given the praise he deserves. Saliba's fantastic, but Magalhaes, bro, contender for one of the best CBs in the league. If not the best, bro. I'm telling you,
no,
bro.
Yeah,
watch the stats, man.
William Saliba is so much more better than Gabriel.
Oh man,
Gabriel,
you're not watching the same games, bro. You're not
too many mistakes for Gabriel. How
reversed?
Saliba's
making mistakes, guys. Bro. I'm telling you.
I'm going to intercept and just say this. Listen, if we're fighting out who's better, one person on this side. So Goongang saying Gabriel's been immense this season, which he has. And then obviously Flair on this side then saying, Saliba's been even better. That's great that we've got two great centre-backs, may I just add.
That's a great argument to have.
Hence the situation. Gabriel could not probably do what Saliba does on the right than compared to the left, and vice versa. So it's just great that we can actually have these conversations where we've actually got two real hot prospects, because they're both young. Remember this, lads. They're both young, and they're consistently trying, and they're doing better, and they're getting better by game. And we've gave Arteta, when he come in, the opportunity to understand his man management and get under the bit of the ways that he wants to play. And we've seen that, and we've just got to trust that Gabriel and Saliba will both do that. They're not perfect at the moment, either of them. I can't say that both of them are perfect.
But name a better young pair of CBs.
But they've got so much potential, and they look better than some of the defenders who are still who are in their 30s now, 28s, 29s, and that.
Name a better pair right now,
Name a better pair.
Right now,
I'm open. I'm open to discussion.
Then if you're talking about young centre backs, we could say Matthias de Ligt.
No, I think the Lex is a little bit too inconsistent, and Gabriel's problem is that he's also been quite inconsistent this season, and it's that inconsistency which cost him his spot in Brazil's World Cup squad. I think since then he's worked hard to get back into some, semblance of form, but he still has a mistake in him, and that's his biggest problem.
Top form.
Of course.
He's made.
At least he's not 38, World Cup winner in 2018 and still making mistakes in goal.
We look at it. Look how many
Sorry,
penalties
Larice.
he conceded for us this season and last season. Look at how many mistakes he's made as well compared to Saliba.
Look where we
Saliba-
are.
You've got to understand.
Saliba has the pace. Saliba has the agility. Gabriel, though, on the other hand, slipping over, and stuff like that, slipping over basics like that. William Saliba is so much better.
Yeah, I do understand where you're coming from, Flair, but this is where I'm sort of going to say, look, yeah, he has got a mistake in him. Of course he does. Even Saliba's got a mistake in him, They're both young, and that's the thing. We've got two of the young centre-backs. We've got the youngest team, remember, in the Premier League. I think that still stands.
Yeah, I think so.
Even with our signing of Jorginho and Trossard, that still stands. Our average age is young. So what is going on is like, yeah, they're going to both make mistakes. But the best thing that we can do is get behind both of them and support them because they're young players, Gabriel, that must have really messed with his head not getting choice for that World Cup squad because let's face it, he was not good enough for Brazil. And even Brazil weren't good enough for the World Cup, let's be real, So all's fair, love and war, he didn't get it. He's going again and he's got that mentality. Now he's been dropped back to go, you know what, now I need to start playing really well for Arsenal and then get them in Brazil. And I've got full confidence, both of them will. Saliba only come on as a substitute a couple of times in the World Cup, didn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Mm.
But we need to get back to the topic of Leicester versus Arsenal result review. So, Ollie, what are your thoughts on the game, my friend?
Yeah, obviously beating Leicester ain't for everyone. Cough, cough, Tottenham and Aston Villa. But no, yeah, good win. 1-0 to the Arsenal. It could have been 2-0, but 1-0 to the Arsenal sounds good because of the chant, Obviously couldn't watch the game, but review of not watching the game, obviously the first half was 0-0. We should have had a goal, but I guess it was kind of a foul. It would have been a great goal if it would have counted Trossard's second goal.
Beautiful.
And then obviously, I think this season we've had some brilliant second halves. We were, 2-1 down against Aston Villa. We managed to win 4-2. I think it was 0-0 Chelsea. We came back 1-0. So we've had some good second halves, whether it's, we've been poor in the first half and we need to improve the second half. And then obviously Gabriel Martinelli with the goal. Obviously it looked like he was injured, but hopefully he's fine. I did get the rotations that he did. Dropping Nketiah was big, and obviously Partey was back and dropping him. I'd like to see more changes as well against Everton. Obviously Ramsdale in goal, but I'd like to see Tierney start at left back. As Manny said, like he goes into the midfield a lot and he doesn't really stay in his position. Whereas Tierney, he does sometimes go forward, but he's more defensive and he stays in his area. So I would, apart from that, I would keep the defense the same. I'd probably try Partey and Jorginho, I think, or just bring Xhaka and Partey back. Obviously Odegaard, and then I don't know whether we keep the same front three. Obviously Trossard, Martinelli, and Saka was good. Whether we bring back Nketiah and risk it, but I think we should try what we did again, but just make a few changes, as I said. But no, it's a good win. Obviously 1-0, and we're going more points clear of Man City. Obviously Man City, we would have liked them to lose, but they were probably favourites to win that game. But no, move on to Everton now. Hopefully we can get the win, which is good, as we can go many more points clear. So it's looking good right now. Obviously we need to win these easy games because we've got Man City away, which is going to be tough, and then the new Liverpool away coming soon. So we want to win these easy games to go more points clear. So we could slip up in those games and still be all right. But no, good win, 1-0. Obviously, we could have been, as you guys said, could have been more. I predicted a 2-0. I just thought we would score a few goals, but
it was pretty much 2-0.
Yeah, it was pretty much 2-0. I kind of got it right, but no, good win, I think, and we moved to Everton.
I want to bring this up. What did you guys think about Arteta bringing on Partey for Odegaard at the end? And then Partey kind of had this like free roaming offensive role, almost Xhaka-esque. And when you saw him shoot up the right hand side, and if that ball had gone in, that was a perfect ball he was serving up from the right. So I'd be interested to see, because we've let Xhaka go up and play an offensive role, and Partey's always had to kind of clean up the trash from that and stay in a deeper role. Like I wonder if Partey wants to go up. So that could be another rotational thing that we can see. But I thought we were going to see ESR come in for Odegaard, but I mean, it's give everybody time to get healthy. So
yeah, I mean, he's been on the bench a lot. I don't know why he's not brought on Smith Rowe. Maybe he's not ready.
He's still they don't want to risk him because he's so much like injury prone. They don't want to keep on risking it. It's sort of probably what the mistake we did with Jack Wilshere. Every time he come back, he was rushed into the team, and then he got injured again. Then it was longer period. Then all of a sudden he comes back. Wenger then pushes him back into the team. He runs the midfield for a little bit, and then gets injured again. Then he leaves on a free. So that's I understand why Mikel will. I'm gonna do my views on the game. Right. Well, God. I was probably one of the lucky people in the UK to actually watch this game. I managed to find a way, legal way for anyone watching. Okay.
David's in the back room.
First half.
David's in the back room.
Oh, for God's sake.
Hey.
Hold on, David. Let me just do my review on
He's too gassed against the wind.
Yeah,
let me just do my review on Leicester. So first half, I think we created enough, but we just couldn't finish it really. And I think second half, Mikel, whatever he said to the team, got them out, got them pumping, and obviously the Ben White goal. The Trossard goal was disallowed by Ben White. Yes, it is a foul. Even though it is very soft, it is a foul in the eyes of the law. Probably VAR will come out and apologise for that sooner or later, but that's the way it is.
Turn it. What are you doing?
Look, mate.
So this is the thing I can't. I love the changes. Eddie needed to be dropped. I understand that the Eddie Nketiah Defence League, please do not come for me, but Eddie needed to be dropped. And you know what? Against Everton, I'm saying now, he needs to be arrested again.
Who?
In my eyes. He needs to be rested again. Martinelli needs to go up front. Trossard on the left, Saka on the right. He needs to have that because Martinelli was our saviour in the end. I don't know how many of us here was actually shitting ourselves in many ways when he was injured and he didn't get up for a little bit.
He's fine.
I wasn't.
But he's fine. So that's all good. He's fine. That's all good. But I did have that little nervous moment where I thought, God, please don't get injured now. So I'll do that. I'll do the exact same lineup for the Everton game. The only thing we need to do is take our chances. And this is where this club are really going to start annoying me, right? We can't often take our chances. And this is where we're going to struggle with the likes of going to Anfield, going to the Etihad, where we can't take our chances. We need to get these goals banging in and hopefully Jesus coming back. I'll be in operation when he does come back, I believe. So I won't get to see him. But you lads, I hope that he comes back firing. And I'm hoping that when I come out of there, we're still top of the league. That's my one wish, to be top of the league when we come back, when I come out of there. Because please, I do not want any more Tottenham fans giving me any stick for Arsenal not being top of the league. Now we are again. So that's a real mess up for you lot.
5 months to talk.
Imagine a Tottenham fan having an opinion this season. That's hilarious.
I know, innit? But we will speak to David, who United, of course, have ended their trophy drought.
Yeah,
it's a big one.
It's only a quickie because I'm watching a film, but I wanted to come on because I wanted to ask Ollie something.
Yeah.
The other day, I put in a post on my Instagram about the next 4 games: Barcelona, Newcastle, West Ham, Liverpool. How many were we going to win? And Ollie said we were going to win 2, and I said which 2? And he said not the Barcelona game, that failed, and not Newcastle, that failed.
But Ollie,
yeah,
I can't even help you here, Ollie.
We won both of them, mate.
Oh well, oh well. I knew
But,
you were. I just wanted you to lose those games because I didn't want you to win a trophy, but you did it. Well done. I mean, I did predict you to win that. I just said that because I wanted you to.
You got to make your haters your motivators, man. That's
Yeah.
all it was, man. That's...
Yep.
And if you want a bold prediction,
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, spicy incoming.
No, we've already won the Carabao Cup. FA Cup final. It's going to be in Manchester Derby. United are going to win it. Europa League final. It's going to be Manchester United versus that small club in North London, Arsenal.
Oh,
We're gonna win.
who's top of the league? Who's top of the league?
Who's top of the league,
Hold
David?
on.
Small club, God.
And we're going to win that. And we're going to win the.
Please don't say you're winning the league.
Let him
Oh,
land, let him land.
Wow. Is there a wager involved on this, or is this just a prediction?
No
Is this just good? All right, what I'm going to do?
You
is
getting
I'm
paid
just
to
gonna
say
clip
this?
right now.
Is there someone
What's the
behind the
minute?
camera
Like
threatening
20,
to whack you?
27 minutes or something? It's the 27 minutes.
Yep.
Clip this here, right
25
here,
minutes
and
and
bring
four-
this back at the end of the season
Yep.
when United, or just when United get knocked out of the Europa League. We'll bring this out.
It's a bold prediction. And I'm going to say, and you can clip this bit as well. I'm more confident of winning the Europa League and the FA Cup. The Premier League is a bonus. But what's the point? We're in the title race. I might as well say that we're going to win it because what's the point in supporting them otherwise? And all you Arsenal fans will probably go hiding if we win it.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, God.
I will not be coming on
yeah,
Instagram for the whole
yeah.
summer. I'll be deleting
No.
my account. MK Don will be gone.
If United win the league, I'm probably gonna move to
If
like
United
the
win the league, bro, I am
live in
gone.
the rainforest.
I'm gone.
If United win the league, I'm burning this shirt.
If United win the league, we're going to abandon the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
That's another that's gonna happen.
And name it. David knows best.
Yeah, listen.
Get him out.
Let me make something
Let
crystal
Manny
clear
talk.
to you, David. Look. You might be a bit of a prat at times, but at heart you're a good bloke, and I have nothing but time for you. Yeah.
Right.
And I want to say this. Yeah, a prat.
I don't even know what it means.
Shots fired. But listen,
Bang,
it's
bang,
friendly
bang.
fire. It's friendly fire. You know that we go back a long way. But I want to say this.
Cool.
You take a look at where you are in the league right now, and we still are in a position where we are several points ahead of you. So the only way that you can even catch us is that you've got to try and maintain your form for every single remaining game of the season, which is not guaranteed. And
Nope.
you are still going to have to depend on City and Arsenal having a huge slump. So I would say this. You're dark horses. You are dark horses. So, you're in with a shot. So you're in with a shout. You're in with a shout. I don't deny that. But what I would say is control what you can control. And if and when we continue to win and you're still behind us, don't say we didn't warn you.
That's fine. But there's 5 Arsenal fans here and 1 United fan. But I think we can all guarantee that Man United now have a better chance of winning the Premiership than Spurs had before football started the season.
Well, obviously, that's Spurs.
Obviously, David.
No. I mean, we'll all agree with that.
David knows best.
Like,
Obviously,
Anyway,
get him out of here.
Yeah.
Get him out.
Claire, take care. Mason, if I don't speak to you, hope your op goes all right. New guy in the corner. Respect to you.
Good guy.
Ollie.
New guy in the corner.
Yeah,
real
okay.
gang shit.
Yep. Ollie.
New guy, he's been on more times than you, David.
And Manny. Respect as always, mate.
What did you say about me?
What? I just
What
said,
did you
Ollie,
say? Oh, okay.
yeah, keep predicting we'll lose, mate, all right? Because if you keep predicting we're going to lose, we're going to carry on winning.
All right. I
Ollie,
won't
thank
use
you.
again.
Just
All right, we'll see you later,
predict
David.
we're gonna
Bye.
win every game.
He's
Big
gone.
up.
I need David on
Big
like
up,
every
David,
show.
but
Wow.
you know how it is.
That's just
Right, let's. We've got 5 more minutes until we
5
do a minute
minutes.
silence for Ukraine. So, should we quickly do a little bit of the Arsenal Everton preview?
Yep.
Yeah.
before
I'll go
Mr.
first.
David interrupted.
I'll go first.
Yeah.
I think last time out against Everton, we
Change the banner.
struggled, and we have to admit that it wasn't our best performance ever. Although we had some positives in that game, I think the majority of it we got destroyed. But like a team like Everton, they're in the relegation battle. They're on the bottom half of the table, whilst we're at the top half. That is awful. You can't get beat by a bottom half table team by the scoreline that we did, and that's the thing. If we go, where is it? At the Emirates.
Yep.
Yeah, the Emirates.
Yeah, last
We
time
go
we
to
were
the
doing some
Emirates and we get beat. That's it. We are done. We will not win the league, and
Yeah.
I have to say that because we cannot be getting beaten by Everton. Everton, out of all the teams, Everton. I think that the game that they played, they had the lucky first manager game, and that was it. I think Everton will fumble against us, and I think that we will come out with a win at home as well. Particularly, we've lost one game at home this season, and that was to Manchester City, and that's like what 20 games not being beaten at homes, or like 21 games not being beaten at home. So that was the first game that we lost at home, and I think that we can continue that till the end of the season and not get beaten at home again. So if we lose to Everton, that's it. Our title charge is done. But if we get a win, if we keep up momentum like what we have these last two games, last Aston Villa, sloppy game. Defensively, we were sloppy, and we have to admit that. Luckily, in like the 75th minute, Jorginho comes up with that goal, and it's like I don't know, man, because whether if Jorginho should be starting against Everton, that's a debate, because we all know that Thomas Partey's back
Yeah.
in action and he's fit. So whether we want to play Thomas Partey or Jorginho when he's on this fiery form. So, or whether if Granit Xhaka gets dropped, we start Jorginho and Partey together. I think that would be the best scenario, and I think that can guarantee us the 3 points. Because we haven't seen Granit Xhaka that much really in these last few games. His form has decreased by a margin. So I think we can all say that if we start this game good, if we start a good squad, then we can win the game. I mean, I think that we can get the 3 points. So I will say 3-0 to Arsenal.
Okay.
Big up. Yeah, I agree with that. We will quickly.
2 minutes.
I'll quickly try and do some of mine. We need to, as Flair said, I'm just going to reflect on what Flair said, to be honest. We played really poor at Goodison Park. Sean Dyche, he's a manager who likes to put everyone behind the ball, counter-attack, and try and nick a goal. And we had a lot of negatives from that. I don't think there was hardly any positives from that game, from my point of view. I think it was absolute rubbish. And if we want to be in a title race, then we have to win these games. And Everton are bottom or near bottom. So they're in that relegation battle. We're in the title battle. And legit, we just need to sort this out, really, because we need to now, personally, we need to go there. We need to beat them. And I want at least 3-0 win. I want to see us take our chances at home, at the Emirates, under the floodlights, full crowd, 60,000, plus the few Evertonians who can make their way from Liverpool. And then, you know what I mean? We've got this. We have got this. I do believe
35
same team as last time.
I'll keep it quick.
Right,
I'm saying 4-1 Arsenal. Neil Maupay is a fucking
Manny,
rat,
can you just look in the private
and
chat, please?
Iwobi's going to score, but he's not going to celebrate because he's class. So 4-1.
Yeah.
Definitely. Right.
Manny, what's your quick prediction?
Go on, Manny.
Yeah, I'm actually sort of going to, talk a little bit about the Everton-Arsenal game, because I absolutely thought that, that was really a damning indictment of Arteta's own management skills, because he came out later in the press conference and, spoke. Okay, listen.
Oh, it's 8:35 now.
Okay.
Are we going to do the silent?
30 seconds, and I'll tell you when we can stop. So, yeah, obviously we will be doing a minute silence now for the respects of Ukraine. 35 minutes. case you didn't notice Zinchenko's number. So we will be doing a 1 minute silence just to show our respects, because it has been a year since the invasion a few days ago. So we will get into that in about 5 seconds. All right, thank you, everyone. Obviously, we are very saddened by what's been going on in the war, and it's an awful situation at the minute. So obviously, we are respecting, and we are deeply saddened, and we apologise to everybody that's been associated with this awful time. So on that note, we will
I
get
just want to add to that and just say we all are all behind Ukraine, and obviously we'll be there every step of the way for you guys, and just stay respect. We salute you. Thank you.
100%. So
Slava Ukraine.
we are going to finish off what Manny was talking about, and
Yeah.
final
Before I
people.
get back to my train of thought, let me also say well done to the club for the decision to give Alexander Zinchenko the captaincy against Leicester. It was a good move, the right thing to do. I know that a lot of old school fans were quite angry with the sight of the captaincy being passed around, but it isn't the case. It was just a one-off. It was the right thing to do. I respect those people who were angry with it and who disagreed with me, but sometimes in this day and age, you've got to look at it, look at the bigger picture of things, and it's not just about the team. It's about the fact that we are all connected into the world, and we have a place in this world, and we have to do that justice. Now, back to what I was talking about. Arteta came out in the press conference after the game and said that he knew what to expect when he came up against Sean Dyche, and Dyche is one of those managers who has, I wouldn't say necessarily had an Indian sign over Arteta, or I mean certainly had it over Arsenal, and his record against Arteta, but prior to the game, of course, was played 5, won 1, drawn 3, and lost 1. So not exactly a winning record per se, but we couldn't even buy a win against Sean Dyche, and he sort of used that same formula, a similar formula against us with his Everton team when he had a really big back four. I think it was Tarkowski and Cody who were in the center of the defense. Mikolenko, another Ukrainian, was at left back, and the Irish veteran Seamus Coleman was at right back. Mikolenko was left back, I should say. Then they had 5 midfielders, including our ex-gunner Alex Iwobi and the likes of Gana Gueye, former PSG player, and also Doucouré, Dwight McNeil, and Onana. And they had one person up front. It was Dominic Calvert-Lewin again, and that midfield did a really good job double teaming Odegaard, seeing him as a weak link, and basically saying, if we double team him and prevent him from trying to play his game, we are going to stifle him, and that could effectively stifle Arsenal, and that's how it proved. We started well enough, but then we allowed them to dominate us, and then Tarkowski bullying Odegaard off the ball to score that goal was just symptomatic of that, and we never really had a plan against them. Now, I'm pretty certain that Sean Dyche will be smart enough to know that he might have to tweak it a little bit, because against Villa, who beat them at Goodison, he sort of had a 4-1-4-1, but which could transition back into the 4-5-1 at any time. And he obviously will look to play the same 11 that started against us, with one exception. Dominic Calvert-Lewin is injured, so he has to choose between starting Demarai Gray or Neil Maupay, neither of whom are exactly the best of form, but who certainly do have the ability to score.
Neil Maupay, I hope you get relegated.
He's a rat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice one.
Big up Ty.
But I think it's fair to say though.
Literally, I hope you get relegated.
I think it's fair to say that he might choose to start Gray instead, because Gray does have the ability to get in behind the defense and really and score some decent goals. So the only question is what sort of team we will put up. And again, if Arteta is smart, he will know that with this being the second or third 3 Premiership games in an 8-day period, there is no way he cannot rotate. So I would like to see him make some changes to the defense, sub out Ben White and Zinchenko and bring in Tomiyasu and Kieran Tierney. Or if you want to start with White and Tierney, I guess that's fine by me, bringing Tomiyasu on for Ben White later on. I actually would drop Gabriel and bring in Jakub Kiwior to give him his first Premiership start and find out what he's about, because you want to... That way, at least you can change the left-footed central defender one for another. And if we could do a 4-2-3-1 formation, I would like to see Zinchenko and Partey. I know that Jorginho has been fantastic, and I'm absolutely delighted. But when you look at Jorginho and Partey, I think Partey just offers a little bit more in terms of the all-round skills that he possesses. But Jorginho is a terrific person to bring off the bench. And so when you have those defensive midfielders there, that can actually help Zinchenko continue to remain as a part of that midfield and aid the transition into attack without having the defense sacrificed. That way you can keep Martinelli on the left wing. He will flourish with Tierney back at left back and overlapping him whenever he needs to. Saka on the right and Trossard up front. And the central attacking midfield, I would drop Odegaard and put Xhaka in there. Xhaka would be the number 10, because that way also he wouldn't really have to track back, but he also would at least have some sort of physicality to deal with any possible double teaming on him. It means Odegaard will probably be dropped, Nketiah will probably be dropped, but at least with this rotation, and of course Ramsdale would be in goal, although I wouldn't be against Matt Turner being given a Premiership debut. But at least, when you have this rotation and that sense of, knowing what you want to do, you at least will be able to show that you have the flexibility to adapt a team to change, to try and do something different against an Everton team, which will be looking to repeat those heroics. Because make no mistake, they're not going to come at us come to the Emirates to play football, but they still believe that they can, stifle us and beat us on the counterattack. So we have to prove them wrong. We have to select a strong attacking team. And this would be my preferred lineup. I don't think Arteta will necessarily follow it, but I'm predicting a 3-1 win for Arsenal because we need to score. And with a dominant win, which I think we're all predicting, Arsenal should be able to extend our lead at the top to 5 points, even if it means that our game in hand advantage is effectively over.
Yeah, 100%.
I totally agree with that.
That's a lot of changes. I don't know. I definitely agree with Tomiyasu and Tierney in the back. I think it is time to give some people. I thought we were going to bring in Kiwior for Europa, but you do bring up a good point. This is 3 matches in a very quick succession. So if there was ever a chance to bring in someone else that we were planning on bringing in Europa style, even Matt Turner, like maybe now is the time. But if it doesn't work out, Arteta's going to get roasted. So I'm not sure if he, with everything that's on the line right now and points so crucial, that he'd be willing to make those changes. But we'll see. It's got, I think, one of the most interesting things about this match is going to be waiting to see what the lineup is.
No, but here's the thing. Listen, it is necessary to make changes because, Europa's midweek. We have to treat this like a midweek Europa game. So if the players he brings in will not be good enough to get a result against Everton, then that says a lot. But again, the players he started that day weren't good enough to get a result against Goodison. So at least you can't really blame Arteta for making the changes. You could blame him for his management during the game, but again, we'll see. Now, Ollie, I think you have to go, so I'll button it and let you speak.
I think Ollie's already said his thoughts at the start.
Yeah, I've said my thoughts obviously quickly. I'm going with a 2-0. I think we'll make a few changes in the game, but we really should be winning this game to go more points clear. We've got, you know, a chance now. We've got 2 games this game week, one more than City, so we need to really realistically win this game. Hopefully, get revenge on Everton. And yeah, we got Bournemouth next as well, so hopefully, you know, it'll give us a boost going into that game. 2 home fixtures as well, so I think when we're at home, you know, it'll give us a good reason to win with the atmosphere. So I'm going with 2-0.
Yeah, 100% agree.
Big up.
So if you want to shout out your socials, because we're going to wrap up now.
Yeah, so socials, DJ Sinclair on YouTube. You can catch me there. I'm doing a stream tomorrow around 7 p.m. I'm going to do a 2-minute silence on there, and just reviewing the games and possibly previewing the Arsenal Everton game. Yeah, go subscribe to me there. Go watch back my videos for the watch hours and like videos. If you want to find me on other socials, Instagram, ollie.sinclair446. That's my main account. Just hit 600 on the road to 700 now, and then 1K. And then my fan page on the road to 400, Aaron_Ramsdale fan page 1. That's it. Really big up for having me on, Mason. And big up, obviously, David joining earlier, and Manny and Goon Gang. Obviously, hopefully, I can join another stream one day. And make sure you check out my channel as well. Yeah, DM me for any other socials. But big up, big up.
Big up.
Defo, big up, Ollie,
Goon
man.
Gang, if you want to shout out your socials.
What up, y'all? Yeah, I'm usually just on Instagram. It's at goongang.afc. Mainly just post memes, and my stories are kind of funny. But I am on Twitter. You can find me on that, but I just link all my stuff from my IG, so follow me on there. And make sure you're following Gooners vs. Cancer. Shout out to Magic Mike Feinberg doing some great work over there, and the Virginia Beach Gooners. If you're stateside on the East Coast, holla at your boys. We're right on the beach, and we usually have about 50 people watching every single match. So come out to Froggies or just holla at your boy, and I'll link you up with the cool Airbnb around us. So holla.
Big up, big up. I will be visiting you very soon, my friend.
Yes,
It'll be next
sir.
season, but I will be coming out. I will
Dude, so
definitely be
hey, we're a beach vacation town. Come see us in the summer.
Oh, mate. Can't wait.
Manny?
Yeah, no YouTube channel of my own, but you can catch me on several channels on YouTube. Big up, of course, to Flair and MK the Don for having me here. Always love coming over here. Very relaxing, and we get to talk Turkey with regard to Arsenal, not just reviews, but also tactics and everything. And it's terrific to spend time with these boys. I know them quite well. Big up as well to Goon Gang and Ollie in the panel. And you can also catch me on other channels, Del Boy Gunner TV, S. Wheatley TV, Oris Talks Football, Coach's Corner with Hanno Trollope, Tony Claude Gunner TV, Danny AFC TV, Up the Cherries in All Departments, the Bournemouth Fan Channel, Northside LDN. I have been on a couple of call-in shows with him. Chelsea Dan, Eugene Spurs Asia TV, Bailey Francis, of course, an Aston Villa fan, and several others whom I've with whom I've been on stream. Just can't really recall them at this time, but I will send you a check in the post. Oh yeah, Warren's Team Talk. I've done more than a few streams with him, and if you want to check a stream I've done with him, check the Irish all-time 11, which I did with more than a few other YouTubers, which was really, really, really good fun. And one of the things I want to say right now is that in light of a lot of tragic events that have been taking place around the world in recent times, it's a reminder that as much as we may love our teams and not really care too much about other teams, football is just a game. It's supposed to unite people. And humanity is the most important thing, and we need to make sure that we treat each other a lot better and respect one another. Life's too short to have grudges with anybody. Let's make sure that we, end all hostilities. I think, I don't know if people are religious, but I believe it was Jesus Christ who said in the Bible that if you show your teeth in anger towards someone, you kill that person in your heart. So before you go to the church or synagogue to pray, reconcile with your brethren. And that's the way it should be. I hope you all have a terrific week. Enjoy the rest of your week. Should be exciting, I hope. And as usual, don't do anything that the 5 of us on the panel wouldn't do. For now, though, I am out.
Big up as always,
big
Manny.
up, Manny, man. Big up,
Mason, if you want to go next.
Yeah, man. Obviously, MK the Don 14 on Instagram. You can also catch me in Flair because we're doing a madness on here. Obviously, shout out Manny, Ollie, and Goon Gang. You guys are fucking amazing. Big up your goddamn self. Shout out to the fans as well. Love you guys. See you later. We'll be back.
Yeah, big up, of course.
I hate when you just leave it on me.
Oh my
I'm
god,
waiting for you to get it off me, man.
I'm like an old lady. I don't know how to get it
Yeah.
working.
Literally.
Right.
It takes you like 8 years.
Yeah, AFC Flair on Instagram. As you may have noticed, I've changed my name back again to the OG name, the one that everyone knows and loves. So AFC Flair on Instagram. Just hit 100 followers. So if everybody could go show their love, I'd appreciate it so much. Obviously, come and subscribe here. We've got new shows coming out every week. We're trying to do more often if we can. So obviously, if you just subscribe, it's literally free. Just go and press that button, and we will entertain you. So obviously, big up everyone. As Manny said, don't do anything we wouldn't do. And we will all see you next time.
Stay blessed and
Bless.
see you in a bit.